I'm gonna get Burden to rest because eventually he's gonna need to pick up the slack on when Jack kind of falls off. Everybody else is kind of at the 80% mark, so. Okay, research complete. Oh, that was the adrenaline shot, so let's do another antidote. Oh, actually no, I don't want to do that. I guess I'll just do another sedative. So Jack is still at 85. I'm gonna get Marvin to rest. Okay, so Defrit is at maximum capacity, so he's gonna wind up digging. I think Jack winds up sleeping next turn. Well, actually, I'm probably going to wind up injecting him with an antidote. Yeah, so Jack is crashing. Yep. Okay, so because he's doing the research. So I'll just get Jack to do a regular rest, I guess. I guess I'll get Burden to do just a regular dig, and then I'll inject him with adrenaline next turn. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Looks like he's doing fine. He should wake up in about 120 minutes. I guess we'll get him to do another adrenaline. Marvin's at 88, so get him to dig. So Donald's gonna go back on rest. 90 minutes, so that's 3 more work shifts. So I might not actually need to give the sedative to Jack. So yeah, burden's crashing. Robots left working. Okay, so A is somewhere in there. So B is not used at all. So it's A and D somewhere. We'll do an unstable. We'll just switch it around. So we'll do a delta, alpha. We know that beta's not in it, so we'll just do lambda next. After the adrenaline shot, I'm gonna get her to oops. I'm gonna get her to help the doctor. I can't remember where Burden was on the sedative. Yeah, I'll give Burden one more turn and then he should be back. And I know I'm kind of overworking people here, but I'm just going to do a full turn of digging. Yeah, most of the... I mean, Donald's at a pretty bad spot. So is Brandon. What I think Brandon will get a rest next. Doesn't really tell me how much is left. So I just want to double check where everybody is as far as their status. So I'm pushing people pretty hard. I'm gonna get Sarah to help with the antidote because I chose a fairly safe one. So I think Donald will repair Brandon. No. And then Donald will rest after that. The only problem is that I can't inject anybody with adrenaline while they're doing the research, so... Probably a bit of bad planning on my part. Marvin's pretty tired. I think I'm just gonna stay the course. I don't even want to really look at what people's health is at. needs a... Well, you know what? Jack's going to be resting when he gets the injection, so... Burden's going to rest. And I thought there was an inventory option. So we've got 2 adrenaline and 1 sedative. Actually, in that case, we're going to supercharge Burden. This is probably a bit premature, but we'll see. So obviously we got to keep that battery up. Donald's on digging duty. Jack gets injected. Actually, let's just see where everybody's sitting. I think I should make these 2 rest, and then I'll put Marvin on digging duty next. Donald's off digging for now. Actually, I think we can use this as a chance to just basically make everybody rest up. Except obviously for Donald, except for the people who shouldn't be resting. I wish I could talk to Brandon. There we go. So Burden's starting to crash. I'll get yeah, I'll get Donald to rest. I'll get Brandon to do a charge right now, actually. Basically, I'm going to hit Donald with a shot of adrenaline. Okay, so dig. Brandon is... Yeah, Burden's kind of useless at this point. How much debris do we have left? It's a lot. Actually, I shouldn't do a sedative for Donald. I think I'm just going to let him crash, and then I'll let him rest. Oh, no. So Jack didn't die, that's a good thing. Okay, so D's correct, A's correct, Lambda's not. Okay, great, so we found the antidote. I'm just gonna let Jack rest up and then I'll hit him with the adrenaline. Jesus, Donald. I actually need him to charge this thing up soon. So at this point, I just kind of need to make sure that the digging happens. So Donald's done. I'm gonna get him to do charges before I give him rest, but then he's gonna get like an extended rest. No, I mean, it'll be interrupted to repair Brandon every once in a while. But other than that, we'll have what we need from him. I'm actually going to stay the course on this. I'll just wait till I have a second defrib charge, and then Brandon's going to get a quick rest. Donald will spend that last unit to repair, and then he's going to get some rest. And I'm really late on this sedative. I actually think Jack's going to fall off before it's done in time. Yeah, so Donald's pretty beat up. I think I'll get Brandon digging as much as I hate to do it. Burden's at 75. I think this is the point, though, we start pushing people a bit more. Sarah will get a rest after she produces another adrenaline to hit somebody with. Donald's still pretty bad. Jack's really dropping off, but he'll get the sedative next, so I think I get even just a quick round where Marvin and Sergeant Burton get a quick rest, because they're going to be digging while she researches the adrenaline. So Sarah is going to be doing adrenaline for Burden, then she'll get a rest. Actually, the debris is doing okay, so just as long as I don't lose anybody is the important thing. I'm going to try and expend as much as I can on Brandon, just because I know Donald can spend a few turns repairing him once he's rested up. Marvin's really tired, so I think I'm just going to have Burden work on his own for a bit. I mean, it's going to suck for him. He's going to be working alone for like 2 rounds and then get hit with the adrenaline. But he's the survivor. Burden's okay, Marvin needs work. Jack's rested up, actually, so he can go back to work. It's actually Sarah I'm most worried about. So we'll put Jack on digging duty. I also forgot to see how much debris is left. $466 kilograms. Jesus Christ. That means we lose the adrenaline. That really sucks. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get him to do the adrenaline. I think I'm gonna take Brandon off for a second, so Donald can do some work on him. Burden's good. Jack's okay. Well, Jack's better than Burden, actually. Brandon's in good shape, so I'll get him back digging. Donald could be better. I'll let him rest. Sarah really needs rest, but I'll wait till Sense is done. The adrenaline. So Brandon's on digging. It's definitely a really lucky timing, so. Oh no, but we lost the research. That sucks. Okay, I gotta do a risky one now. And we definitely need another defib unit, because if he gets caught by this, we're done for. So I'm gonna hit Jack with the adrenaline. Okay, 20 kilograms of debris, so we're good there. I'm going to get both people researching the antidote, just in case one of them gets hit with the Medusa virus. Okay, and actually what we do here is, because we are completely done, we're gonna do a safe antidote. Or let's do unstable just because that's a low probability. I'm gonna keep Donald off until he's got a second charge, then it'll repair up Brandon, and Brandon, you can just keep the battery going. I hope this doesn't take too much time. Gonna move Sats onto Adrenaline so we can just get a final push. I hope I didn't screw myself by doing a safe one. Oop. So it's a gamble to give the doctor the adrenaline. So Sarah's at 19. I think I'm just gonna get her to stop working for a bit. Oh no, I just lost. I wish I did that better. Okay, you know what? Change of plans. That's really frustrating that I did, that I misclicked like that. Otherwise, this would have been a perfect run. Um, while we're waiting, we'll get her to produce adrenaline. Thing is, if that he gets hit with the Medusa virus over these turns, it's bad. Yeah, she's petering out. With the second phase? See, reduces attacks the brains and the muscles. We've solved muscular paralysis, but there's still a psychological effect. That's why Sarah is part of this mission. That's her specialty. Oh my god. Let's get back to work, everyone. That's unfair. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get this in time. Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what? He's got to be the one to be injected with... Oh wait, no, she can inject herself. I mean, this is just a give up moment, really, but we'll see what we can do. It's good to know, though, I can do a lethal compound if I know what the ingredients are. Yeah, we're out of time. Ship can barely feel my arms now. The doctor was right. Time's up. There's no hope. Ran out of time. The infection became incurable. Mission failed in 27 hours. Dr. Reese reached the second phase. No one was sacrificed. Produced 8 adrenaline, 3 sedatives, 3 antidotes. Okay, well, now we know how to do this. Okay, so we will start with a risky compound. Alpha, beta, delta. I'm gonna get him to make the adrenaline right away, and then we'll switch her off onto making the sedative. That's really frustrating how that turned out. Oh well. the second phase is a particularly vicious trick on the part of the developer, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, hey, distinguished gentlemen, how's it going? So one of the things I think I need to keep a better eye on this time around is the scientist's rest. So Brandon's got to do charge, otherwise we lose. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to give her 1 turn of rest. Jack's going to be the one who gets hit with the injections, so it doesn't make sense to give him the adrenaline. So I think what we do here is we give Burden 1 turn of rest. And then, okay, actually, yeah, so what we'll do is we'll give Jack the first antidote, so he can rest up while he's, while they're studying the blood sample. And then we'll hit Burden with the adrenaline. I think he will probably get tired before... he's probably going to get tired before Jack wakes up. So actually I should put Brandon on digging now, and then I'll have him for charging. So, I can't remember what I have. Let's get... We should do a status report first. So I'll take Marvin off next round. We'll get Donald to dig. I'm going to do 1 round of Burden digging on his own. I'll get Brandon to charge next round. And that'll be when I hit Burden with the adrenaline. I think I'll just give these guys 1 turn of rest. I definitely prioritized the digging a little too much near the end last round. So yeah, 3 turns. Well, looks like something disagreed with Jack. Oh, 22% is not so bad. This is why I will never work as a doctor, by the way. So we'll give him a rest. She'll finish up the sedative, and then they'll be working on the antidote next time around. Donald needs to rest. Okay, so no alpha, beta in the middle. Okay, so we eliminate alpha and delta. I really don't like doing another risky one, but it was beta in the middle, right? So lambda, beta, omega. Jack's in good shape. Burden's in a pretty bad way, but I think I'm gonna basically exhaust him, hit him with the sedative, and Jack can work through the rest. I also kind of want to see how quickly this gets researched, because I can probably hit Jack with the adrenaline and he'll power through it, and then he'll be resting while the injection takes its course. That is really fast. Okay, so Marvin's back. How's Brandon's health? Hey, he's okay. I'm gonna let Donald rest once more, and then both of them can go digging. So I'll give it one more turn, then I'll hit Jack with the adrenaline shot. That probably means that Burden's gonna need the sedative. Wow. Okay, well, we'll give him one more turn. This is probably going to be a bit wasted on Jack then, but... Burden has to rest at this point. Yeah, actually that's going to mean I have my two top diggers are actually going to be resting. That was poorly planned. So I'll give the doctor one turn of rest. Actually, I guess I can give them both rest once we're waiting on a cure. So I'm curious where the performance is at, because I'm thinking maybe we inject Donald with the drug instead. Yeah, Jack's at peak performance, so... That's really tough, because if he dies, then we're only going to have the 3 defib charges, and nobody to repair Brandon. But he's also one who gets tired pretty quickly, so... Okay, so... he's going to do more adrenaline. And I just want to see my inventory. So I have a sedative still. So Jack's getting pretty tired. I think I'll get a little bit more out of him. I gotta hook up Brandon. And the rest looks good. Okay, so LB. Great. Okay, so we found the first one. So I'm going to do an unstable this time for alpha, beta, delta, lambda. And I think I need to get her to do a sedative. Actually, so where's everybody sitting? Jack's still holding steady, actually, so let's do... I can't remember what I have in the inventory anymore. 1 adrenaline, 1 sedative. Jack to rest. I'm gonna give Burden an adrenaline shot. So Marvin should get a rest. Donald's a little tired, but I'm not too worried about him yet. He's gonna need to start repairing Brandon soon though, so I think I'll hit Brandon with two hits at power lines, and then I'll put Donald on his repairs. So I'll do one rest for Donald just because he's gonna have to repair soon. Give him one turn of rest just because I don't need both of them working on the antidote. Brandon gets a rest for repair. And I kind of don't care where Burden's at right now, so... Oh, but then there's a question of who I inject. I wonder if I can inject the dog, actually. So where's everybody sitting at? Well, Burden can still work. Yeah, well, found my test subject. I think I'll give the two doctors a rest. It's 180 minutes, so I think one round of rest, and then I'm going to put them each on an adrenaline and a sedative. Yeah, not rest. Sedative. I think I'll get Donald to dig for a turn. Stay the course. I think here I'm gonna hit Burden with the sedative. Actually, I'll give him the adrenaline as well. He's not at peak performance already, but hopefully it'll balance out. And what's Donald at? If he's at above 80, I think I'll... Oh no, he really needs rest. And Brandon... You know, I won't really worry about Brandon until he's like at the 30 level. Seems like Burden is somebody who can basically be a bit of a workhorse for a really long time, even if you hit him with adrenaline, which is kind of good to know. I'll just do one round of repairs and I'll probably put Brandon back on power detail. Okay, good to know. Probably not the most efficient use. I probably could have got them making more antidotes, but I don't think having them rest is the worst thing I can do. Okay, well, Donald's got to do defib charging now. Okay, so A's in the right spot, B's not, D. Okay, so no lambda. I think I'll do A, D, B, O. I mean, it could also be duplicate letters as well. We still have lots of time left, so I don't think I need to use the digging crew quite as hard, but it'd be good to get that out of the way, and then I just have a group of test subjects if I need to do riskier antidotes. I really need those charges. 724 left. Brandon's in good shape. Donald is tired. Sarah could be better. Jack's really tired. I think I'll give Jack a rest. I don't even know if I have sedatives. Yeah, one sedative. Actually, you know what? No. We'll give him a sedative now, and then he can power through the last bit. So Marvin's now that I know you can inject the dog, he's getting hit with everything, unfortunately. Doesn't dig very well, so. Brandon could be better, Donald could be better, Sarah needs a rest. The doctor can actually do some adrenaline right away. How's Burden sitting? Yeah, Burden's okay. I'll maybe wait till he goes to 60 and then I'll give him some rest. So Donald will get a rest. Actually, no, Donald needs to repair Brandon, unfortunately, so. Oh, I forgot to check the rest of the team. $120 minutes is a really long time to wait. So Burden's at 61, I'll give him a rest now. I can't even remember if I injected Jack with adrenaline, but now is the time. I can't remember what the doctor's at. Yeah, I'll get him to do another adrenaline and maybe a sedative. Yeah, 40% is not good. Oh, lost him. Oh wow, so I have to test that compound again. I gotta do another risky one. Okay, so I'll get the doctor to rest. Brandon to dig. We gotta be getting close to getting through the end. $68 kilogram, yeah, we'll be through next turn. So basically everybody becomes a guinea pig at that point. Alright, so Jack is really the only digger. It's 120 minutes. I think at this point we research another compound. D, B, D. This is just sort of setting myself up for future charges. So this might be wasted research time, but it's a chance just in case, because I mean, I've 2 turns, we'll have another antidote, and if it turns out that this is sort of generally in the right direction, the ADB pattern, then it's just a matter of sort of checking that fourth value. So I'm just going to get these 2 to rest, and we'll see what happens to Jack. good. Okay, D's still misplaced. B's good. Oh, okay. So it's A, O, B, D. And I'll just get a status report on everybody. So Brandon's okay, I don't need to repair him. Donald definitely needs the rest, and everybody else is basically where they need to be. I mean, the doctors could be better off, but hopefully we have an antidote soon. And again, Donald defibrillates people, so Jack is the guinea pig, unfortunately. Oh, okay, well, you know what? Oh, AOBD, right. And I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't work, so everybody can just rest and wait. Give him something to do. Yeah, 90 minutes, so I have enough time. I want to see how much you can charge this battery, actually. Oh, you know what? So I can just... Let's see his... Yeah, he's fine, so I'll just give him another half hour and we have enough battery life for the rest of the encounter. If there's a third phase, I'm going to freak out. Well, he didn't die, so kind of tells you that it worked. Okay. Great. Fuck the gods, we really did it. Let's get out of here. Alright, it's furthest I've gotten, and gods will be watching. Don't. Our mission is to protect the team, not engage in direct combat. I'm so happy to see you again, Sergeant. What are you doing, Liam? Is this your twisted notion of revenge? If that's what you want, you'll end it faster by just executing me. These people have nothing to do with Xenolifer. Yeah, you'd love that, wouldn't you? I'm sorry, but revenge is not what I'm after. What I am really after is the cure to the Medusa virus. That thing about leaving your team isolated with the virus? Well, that was a gamble. I have my own research team, you know, but I could never apply these conditions to them, if you know what I mean. Anyway, all's well that ends well, no? I never imagined you would be this kind of a son of a bitch, Liam. Oh, it doesn't feel good being on the other side now, huh? No one likes being Xenolifer's enemy, but you two made your choices. Enjoy defending oppression and slavery. We have to go now, and we can't take any risks of letting you follow us or alerting the Constellar Federation, so farewell, Abraham. What are you doing? If you leave us here, we'll die. Please, you know I'm not an assassin. It's just that if you get off this planet, I'm sure you'd further complicate my plans. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll find a way to survive. You may even end up liking your retirement here if you give it a chance. Chapter 3, an easy difficult... Oh, wait, it does this if you do it normal as well. So get an alternative soundtrack and original difficulty, concept art, Everdusk chip. Police shot into someone without killing him. Illustration, human experimentation. So, yeah, 53% do Marvin. That's not a surprise. And then everybody uses Jack because he is a soldier. Favorite product, obviously, antidotes. Completed chapter 3 in 24 hours. Average is 21. Fastest is 6 hours. That's impressive. Favorite level was risky. Most people liked unstable. That makes sense. And guinea pig was Jack. Most people use Donald, which really surprises me because there's somebody else to do the charges, but you really don't want to use your doctors to do those, like to do the defibs, because like let's say that you've sacrificed Donald to an injection. You have both doctors working on an antidote. One of the doctors gets the Medusa virus. All your research is gone. And especially if people like doing unstable, that means a lot of time has just been wasted. So, anyways, that's going to be it for me tonight. It's a lot later than I was planning on doing this for, but we got to play, I won't call this a new game, but we got to do Rim Capsule, which was cool. Very mellow kind of a game. I definitely want to play that more on the stream, but I think that'll be a nice way to kind of close out the evenings and, just something a little more low-key. We did Antichamber, which was ridiculous. That game is a lot of fun. It's incredibly trippy. I know it's, I had the benefit of having Krunkalunka here to talk a little bit. There's not a whole lot to discuss. And my regret about Gods Will Be Watching is that I spent my time kind of discussing the strategy. It's just because it's such a tough game. What I really like about it is the moral dilemmas that it faces you with. I think it's a fairly interesting story. I really like the soundtrack. But overall, I mean, there's a lot of different ideas that you can kind of explore inside of Gods Will Be Watching, either concepts of just war, the hostage situation. Would you torture somebody if it meant, stopping a nuclear bomb from going off in a city? The simple decision that, until I knew that Marvin was an acceptable test subject, and I mean, I don't have problems with animal testing, and so it's not, a life or death situation isn't any more of a dilemma for me. But that mere fact that so many people are willing to choose, like when you're limited to the humans, that so many people are willing to use Jack, and the fact I was so willing to do that, what does that say about, how we value people like that? We're definitely at a point where we certainly value the doctors and things like that. You can always justify it, right? You can say, well, a soldier's kind of given they've already sort of made these commitments that they'll give their life if they need to. And so, why should an injection be any different from, the possibility that they may die in combat? But it clearly is a different situation. Like, if we were to talk about, let's just say, okay, we have a new HIV. I mean, obviously HIV is less of a death sentence than it was, let's say, in, well, I guess, the 80s was when people really became aware of it. I was just watching Angels in America. And certainly in that story, HIV AIDS is it's game over. But yeah, so let's say that we had a fairly reasonable shot at finding a cure for that, or any other disease. I mean, we could come up with something. I know Ebola, is talked about a lot right now in terms of it being, overblown or not overblown or what have you. Or we could say Lassa fever. I mean, just think of like the really horrible kinds of diseases that you can get that cause untold suffering in the world. And say that we had a fairly reasonably good idea of how we could come up. Well, I mean, again, Ebola has some drugs, but just think of something to the scale of, of the horribleness of these kinds of diseases. Something maybe that we don't have a cure for. Or we can even say cancer. Just cancer is usually a slower affair. And we said, we have a fairly good shot at finding an antidote or a cure or a treatment. But the cost of it is that we need to inject 1,000 people. 500 of them are certain to be failures in terms of the test compounds, and they're going to die, and they are going to die in the worst possible way. Now, you could say people, as long as people volunteer, that's okay or something like that. But suppose somebody proposed that we said, well, we should get 1,000 soldiers and they can volunteer. Obviously, the volunteering thing makes it a little bit different. Let's say, if we don't have, well, here's what we can do. We say, there are some volunteers, but we don't have enough for the 1,000 or however many we want to do. And that in order to complete the tests, we need to make up the difference. Should we conscript soldiers into finding this antidote? Now, this is the same situation largely that you're faced with in Gods Have Been Watching. But I'm not entirely sure people would be comfortable with that happening in the real world. It's a video game, so, our decision to be so free with Jack's life is clearly a reflection of, the distance we put between ourselves and the game. But I think what's really interesting about this game is it puts you in genuinely unpleasant situations, and, as the screen says, only the gods are watching, only the gods can tell, are going to judge your behavior. What happens between you and the situation is on its own. So I think there's opportunities for some really interesting discussions in terms of the values that are revealed in terms of people, in terms of the decisions that people make in this game, what their ideals are, and what, in the the fact that in the face of time constraints, I was willing to go for increasingly lethal medicines. That definitely says something about, about me, what I think is acceptable. And I understand there is a difference between the game and the reality. But it's definitely interesting to see how people react to these things, because I definitely know that in some games, when I am faced with moral choices, I do actually tend to feel the consequences of that. I think in good games, at least. So it's fun. It's stuff to think about. It's I regret not having a chance to talk about this stuff. Sorry, I had the chance. I just didn't take that chance because I was sort of focusing on explaining my thought process through the game. But I find this an interesting one. I sort of regretted not being able to do it the whole way on the Extra Life Challenge, but it's also it's really grim, right? So I think something that is supposed to be an incentive for people to, to donate to a good cause, maybe it's not the most appropriate choice. And I thought I loved playing Trying during that presentation anyway, so that was all good. This is my chance to share this game with you guys. I believe there are 6 chapters, so we're at the halfway point here. I'll hit the next chapter. I'll maybe set up the next chapter just by reading the dialogue, and I'll call it for tonight. Oh, this is actually the introduction. Oh, actually, no, this is different. All right. Excuse me. I thought this was the same introduction, so I didn't apologize for not reading it. So maybe a quick word before I leave. Um, this is the original Gods Will Be Watching, actually. Um, it was only this scenario. Um, the backstory was just, you know, all the flavor text that you sort of read here. And it's survival. I've never beaten the original game. Now, I understand they threw a couple of extra things inside here to make it a little bit more dynamic, but this is definitely. I mean, I'd never beaten the antidote level as well, but it was. Like it was a how do I say it? Like it was just because I'd stopped playing at that time. Um, This one I've put some effort into beating, and I've gotten really close a few times, but I've never actually been able to. I've got the radio repaired, but I haven't been able to survive to the point that the ships go by. So, anyway, this level is going to be all about keeping morale, keeping food up, repairing the radio. It's a tough one, but we will save that for another day. I want to see my achievements. That's on the pause menu for the alternate soundtrack. Interesting. See, I never pictured Shaman like this. Like, I thought he was wearing something a little bit more scientific. I definitely thought that was face paint or maybe a mask that he was wearing, but he's an actual shaman. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that right now. Hmm. It's kind of interesting. I mean, this is obviously they went for the really lo-fi aesthetic. I mean, I believe this is by Devolver. Um, it's really interesting that they do concept art to bring a particular feeling in. So. I think it's neat. I mean, it definitely. I think this stuff shows in the game. Definitely, there's feeling. I mean, the one thing I've heard from the people who watched it during Extra Life was that it's really compelling stuff. It's just really unpleasant. So, anyways, as usual, I talked a little bit more than I should have. Thank you all for watching this. This was longer than I'd intended. Made, day number 2, I guess it is, in making sure that I sort of stream every day of the new year. Well, I won't complete 365 days for sure, but I want to see how many days I can go consecutively. I had some fun playing these. I hope you guys enjoyed watching them. If there's something you'd like to see in the future, always feel free to send me a message. And I was supposed to get a microphone today, which I don't like being somebody who complains all the time on stream, but I will definitely say that. I mean, FedEx is currently in my really bad list right now, but UPS, honestly, both of the commercial carriers or major commercial carriers, I think have a lot of room for improvement. But I do think DHL's turned out well, and Canada Post, um, haven't really had a problem. I wish Amazon would more consistently use them, to be honest. But anyways, one day I will have a better mic for you guys, and we will, I don't know, we'll take it from there. Probably, I'm not quite sure when I'm going to do some Dota casting next. I think what I might try doing tomorrow if I have time. I know the new school term is coming up pretty quickly, and I need to get some work done for that. But maybe tomorrow I'm going to take a look on Reddit and see if there's some games to cast. I know there's a lot of people who post stuff like that, but I don't know if I can do a solo cast. But I don't know if I'd broadcast it because I definitely need to practice more. But I don't know, it'd be interesting. But like I said, I promised I'd go out. I'll be back tomorrow for sure. We'll uh, we'll see what we do. I don't know if I'll do more Gods Will Be Watching. Maybe we'll finish off The Wolf Among Us, or at least do chapter 4. And the rest we'll see what you guys want. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.